not just them getting involved, with the initiative, with the PFI. Are you getting smallholder farmers? That's the question.
Fantastic. We are. Everything, the PFI's focus primarily is the smallholder farmer. The PFI's focus, whenever we're in those meetings cracking on, those meetings are usually very hot because you have the government on one side, you have the private sector on one side, and it's usually very hot because we're trying to ensure that we do the best by the farmer. So they are our focus. And we engage them, we talk with them, we get feedback from them. Some of the feedback we've gotten is what has influenced the restructuring of this program. The PFI initially only focused on 2010-10.
Okay.
All right. We only blended one blend. And the farmers were saying, look, you guys are shortchanging us. Even for the 2010-10, in some part of the north, we will require more of this particular type of blend. We are used to this particular type of blend, we are being shut out. The tree crop growers in the south were saying, look, we don't need 2010-10, we need 12-12-17. And on like that. The legume, the beans farmers, all of them were complaining that they need their own type of fertilizer. So it's feedback. And in response to that feedback, you had this restructuring that was done. Because if you didn't do that, it meant that government was going to spend a lot more, all right, to be able to meet everybody's needs, which is virtually impossible. And today everybody's really happy. Whatever blend you need as a farmer today, I mean, I don't know how to emphasize it, but it's a fantastic thing. And today, everybody, a couple of years, it would have been difficult. Am I going to speak to the guy in Brazil or Morocco to come and give me a specific blend? They won't do that for you. But I can talk to my local blender here and say, give me this type of blend. And he can blend it. They won't do that for you. But I can talk to my local blender here and say, give me this type of blend, and he can blend it. They won't do that for you.
But I talk to my local blender here and say, give me this type of blend, and he can blend it. They won't do that for you. But I talk to my local blender here and say, give me this type of blend, and he can blend it. They won't do that for you. But I talk to my local blender here and say, give me this type of blend, and he can blend it. They won't do that for you. But I talk to my local blender here and say, consistent now also
this type of blend, and he can blend it. They won't do that for you. But I talk to my local blender. Don't forget, agriculture is on the concurrent list. Also, with that blend, can do what they like within their own state as far as agriculture is concerned. But right now, even for state governments, everybody is trying to manage their expenditure. So you're looking for the most cost-effective ways to be able to, carry out your agricultural programs, trying to manage their expenditure. So you're looking for the most cost-effective ways to be able to carry out your agricultural programs, trying to manage their expenditure. So you're looking for the most cost-effective ways to be able to carry out your agricultural programs, trying to manage their expenditure. So you're looking for the most cost. They end up in the hands of unintended beneficiaries. Okay. And we suffer the brunt of it. The government's position through the Minister of Agriculture with respect to fertilizers is welcome. This is welcome. It is welcome, and the private sector has taken the bulls by the horn. It's, if you permit me, it's an aberration for quote unquote to be involved in production, distribution, and all that. Like governments across the world are leaving all that. You let that run on by itself. Let me give you a perspective. I'm a farmer. I farm maize. I also farm rice. If I do it right, the minimum I can get from my farm is 5 tons from a hectare. My cost, in terms of my fertilizer cost, okay, it cannot be more than, as of today, it cannot be more than 80,000 naira. Okay? Yeah. Now, a ton of maize, I sold a ton of maize last year, 185,000 naira. So you can only compute. If you the margins, do I need subsidy? I don't need government. I don't need it. That is the truth. So the issue for me is availability. However, not everybody can afford fertilizers the way I would be able to. So what the initiative did was to, through the Ministry of Agriculture, a census was done, or a list was compiled for about 5 million farmers. From what we hear, I think that list, they say it has increased
6 million
to about 6 million. And what they have started doing, okay, because they said they were going to do it and they started doing it, which for us is good, is that they are giving the support directly to the farmer. So they have the farmers' accounts, and then they pay those supports into their account rather than giving them fertilizers, so that the farmer will now take the balance and go and buy his fertilizer himself. So there's no contract, there's no, so to your other concern, there's no racketeering. The most important thing is that make sure that there's fertilizer when the man wants to come and buy fertilizer. So,
which is, the primary expectation for every farmer, right? Now, according to the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, it says Nigeria saved about $350 million, from erstwhile payments of interventions. Let me not use the word subsidy because you don't like that word. And import substitution through implementation of the PFI. Now, this is the second phase of the initiative. And from what you've said, it's been restructured. What are some of the impediments that will not be, more like a hindrance that will make this sustainability plan more effective in the second phase of 4 years?
Okay, thank you. But let me clarify. All right, I don't have a problem with subsidies. I do like subsidies.
Okay.
What I have a concern about, all right, is especially amongst peer countries, is subsidy administration, the way subsidies are administered, and whether they are getting the requisite effect they're supposed to have. Now, to your question on the Sovereign Wealth Fund, yes, monies have been saved. Prior to now, we had interventions, subsidy programs, and all this stuff. But right now, those monies have been saved. Because the way it works now, we are the ones who procure the fertilizers ourselves. All right? And I'm not sure I got the question fully.
I'm talking about the impediments.
Impediments,
yes.
Okay.
This second phase, you talked about the restructuring.
Yes.
What are those impediments that will be, addressed in order to ensure an effective sustainability plan?
Okay, so under this structure, farmer will now take the balance and go and, it's fine, buy his fertilizer himself. So there's no contract, but we may have one or two, to your other concern, there's no racketeering. The most important thing is that make sure that there's fertilizer when the man wants to come and buy fertilizer.
Which is, the primary expectation for every farmer, right? Now, according to the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, it says Nigeria saved about $350 million, from...
and some of them may not have that cash available. So what we have done is to engage with the banks. The central bank has been very helpful in this, but we've engaged with the banks to come up with unique products to help, for the want of a better word, some indigent blenders that may have one or two challenges in being able to raise bank guarantees. Now, just to give you a perspective, these bank guarantees, it's almost for a year, and anybody who is in the fertilizer space knows that it's fantastic. A year's guarantee is quite long. So, and the banks have been very supportive. But we do have very stringent conditions that come from the bank. But products have been designed for some of these guys, so some of our members that may not be able to. They have a couple of issues in getting some of those guarantees. If I may speak to them, one of those products has also been the Islamic financing product, all right, under which blenders, they can source the materials for them, okay, and then you do profit sharing. So different things are available, but a businessman did not set up his plant because of government. You set up your blending plant because you're a businessman, and you need to know how to run your own business. But even at that, we are not going to leave our members hanging. We're supporting, and thankfully, a number of them have keyed into this, and they're getting good results from it. So some even prefer, what we've even observed is a lot of them would largely just take their cash, just pay and be turning it over, you know. So I don't think we have a problem there.
So if we look at the kickbacks of this initiative, when I mean kickback, I mean the job creation.
It's good you clarified on the kickbacks.
Yes. And the transportation system, the people involved in bagging, the even naming of the bags. How many people will you say this initiative have taken out of poverty or create a job for them?
Directly
or indirectly?
Indirectly, I will put that comfortably over 300,000. Because when you look at the ports, I mean, this year alone, at the last count, I think we have brought in about the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, if I recall correctly, I think has brought in almost 15 vessels. Each of these vessels takes, the least is about 35,000 tons. Yeah, so you can only imagine the the microeconomy around these vessels. All right, you're going to offload the ships. You're going to put them in bags. You're going to put them in gigantic warehouses. You're going to load them into trucks, offload them at the blending plants. It's huge. I mean, it's quite huge. We are doing a study to be able to come out with empirical figures to say, okay, this is quantity of people that are being employed. Not only that, when we were briefing the president on the progress of the initiative, he was particularly excited when we showed the microeconomy around the blending plants. You know, there's some people that sell food to the laborers. A lot of this food, local food, they had popped up, and a lot of them were very excited that some of these fertilizer plants had been dead, you know, but it has spurred up their business. So the multiplier effect is quite huge.
Okay, I'm afraid we're rounding up. So so you could just give us your final thoughts. You know, looking at the projection, if we want to look at the fertilizer industry in Nigeria.
Yes. Well, we're in a very good place as an industry. We are very grateful to government. We are grateful to farmers who have also been patient with us as we grow as an industry. We say it will only get better in terms of making sure that farmers have access to quality and affordable fertilizers. So ours is just to encourage everybody within the industry to keep it on and just be focused. We will get there in terms of, we hear some complaints. You know, we talked about adulteration. Some are saying they're having issues of access. All these things will solve themselves as we are progressing. And we're also putting effort to ensure that we speed up that solution as quickly as possible. So, yeah, I think in summary, work in progress. And we just thank God for where we are.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gideon Negadu. For me, I think everybody should go and carry a hoe, you know. If we're talking food sufficiency, you know, for the country, we should all be involved in farming. You must not carry a hoe, but you can get into farming one way or the other. Thank you very much for your time with us. He's the Executive Secretary, Fertilizer Producers and Suppliers Association of Nigeria, and also member of the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative. Thank you for your insight here on the program.
Thank you very much.
And Musa Baba Aliyu, our agri-correspondent, thank you for your contribution.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Our in-house farmer, actually. Okay, so we've been looking at the revolution in the fertilizer industry for Nigeria, and there's a whole lot for farmers out there who are already benefiting, you know, from the Presidential Fertilizer Initiative. Of course, when there's low productivity, there's despair from the farmers. They want to see high yields. But we'll continue to put our eyes on the prize and ensure that it's work in progress with a collective responsibility. That's Platform. I'm Ruth Aguele. Bye.